hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Friday, Gqeberha, Fairview, Turf Track, 28th of June. And I trust that you, the valued racing fan, is well. I just want to see what's on offer on Friday before we introduce our analyst and our expert, who is none other than Grant Paddock, who's doing a sterling job on the show. Let's have a look at the race meeting. Race number 1 begins at 12:30, and the main event on the day is a listed race, the East Cape Breeders' Stakes, and we got 8 races carded. So the big one, the Pick 6, will take place race number 3 at 13:35. But let's get Grant Paddock in. And Grant, how you been? I haven't worked with you for a while. How you been?
Yeah, morning Dees, morning punters. Yeah, it's been okay, Dees. I must be honest with you. Monday's meeting, we had our best bet and value bet come home. The value bet, I think, was 12.5 to 1. So, yeah, I still got to get this bipod right. I'm falling out in stupid places. But anyway, hopefully Friday is going to be a better day. I must say we have got a carryover Pick 6. They're expecting a pool of 3 million, so we might have to put out a little skeleton Pick 6 for the players as well. So yeah, let's start with race 1.
I'll be jotting down those numbers, Grant, for that Pick 6. I was going to tell the guys about that carryover, but let's jot down some numbers. Yeah, away we go then. Race number 1, horses in single figures. This show, unusually so, is recorded not 24 hours earlier, but this time round it's 48 hours earlier, due to the Hollywoodbets Gallops being done on the Thursday early in the morning, so no time to do a show. So thanks to Grant for affording us his time on this Wednesday for Friday. That is when we recorded this show. So this is just a guide as the betting, Grant. A lot would have changed by the time we get to Friday. But race number 1 at 8 to 1, number 3 at 6 to 1, horse number 4 at 11 to 10, and number 6 at 4 to 1. Early betting. What's your thoughts here in leg 1 of the bar pot? Are we all in with the 11 to 10 shot, or have you found something?
Dees, I'm all in, there's no doubt. He's a very, very nice horse. The yard is in phenomenal form at the moment. They're firing. I think it's 5 winners in the last 2 meetings. They're really, really doing well. Yeah, Security for me, it doesn't show much at track, Dees. I must be honest with you. Very good. But much better on the grass. His grass gallop was very good. He'll take a power of beating here in the first. He's my bipod banker. And those that don't like bankering in the first leg, the only other horse that I would put in is this horse, Walt Whitman, number 6. He was very unlucky last time out. A horse went wrong on him, in front of him inside in the turn on the poly, and he had to pull out of the race. And he still came on and ran a half-decent race. So he's definitely the improver. A lovely way to start the day in a 4 and 6 exactas. Yeah, but Sukurajima for me to beat Walt Whitman.
Okay, we are off to a flyer when it comes to Grant Paddock's confidence here in race number 1. He is with horse number 4 to get things off, 11 to 10 at the time of recording. Race number 2, this is where the place accumulator will begin. It's over 1,200 meters. We'll bring up the field and have a look at some forecast betting. Number 1 at 9 to 10, number 2 at 6 to 1. 5 is at 11 to 2, and then it's double figures, the balance. Another short price favorite here, Grant. Are we looking elsewhere for some cover in the place accumulator and the bar pot, or again, we're going confidently with number 1, King Dundee?
These we're going to cover a little bit here now. You know, these now geldings have all been gelded around the same time, the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5. It does look like a Gavin Smith race, but you know, you've got to understand horses take geldings differently, and all fit and well. King Dundee should beat this field. He's beaten them all. He can give them 2 kilos and a hiding, but this horse Sylvanian's not out of it, and neither is Family Law, who was really highly rated by the yard as an early 2-year-old. I think the gelding would have done him a world of good, so he's definitely a horse that you've got to be looking at. I've gone in my bipot. I went 1, 2, and 5, and I think that is exactly where we need to start. I don't think we need more than that. I do think Gavin Smith will win the race, but either 1, 2, or 5. Slight preference to Sylvanian, but 1, 2, and 5 in the bipots, Eddie.
Okay, he's making it a Gavin Smith race, Grant Paddock. Place accumulator, I'd like to push you. It's leg number 1. Can we narrow 3 numbers down to 1 or 2?
1 and 5.
1 and 5 for place accumulator plays. Grant mentioned race number 3 is the big one, the pick 6, and the estimated pool there. He spoke about 3 million. Well, that's the estimate because there is a $500,000, 500K as a sweetener to you, the valued racing fan, if you are playing the pick 6 on Friday. And I suspect that going into the weekend, trying to build a kitty for the next week until we get to some huge pools on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, there is going to be plenty of interest in this pick 6. So Grant's right. Let's try and do a skeleton perm, what I call it an in-running pick 6 that I'll jot down. You can possibly use as a guide. I'll give you the numbers at the end of the show. So let's go with the race number 3, Grant, Open Maiden, 2,000 meters. As a guide, number 1 at 7-1. Horse number 3, Torix Knight, is at 15-10. 4 is at 4-1. And 6, Dumisani at 3-1. It's then double figures the balance. Over to you, Grant. You're going to take it away here, race number 3. This is where that big pick 6 begins.
Yeah, Dees, I really like the looks of this horse, Torix Knight. You'll probably know a little bit more about him. He's from your neck of the woods. Very decent run last time out, over 2,000 meters, showing very, very good work at home. And I must be very honest with you, this is a very moderate field. A lot of these horses have had quite a few chances to win. If he brings that last run, he'll be a very hard horse to beat. He worked extremely well this morning. The cover horse, if you don't want to bank her, the cover horse is Dumisani. She's holding form. She's track and trip suited, no problem. She's getting a couple of kilos, 4.5 kilos from Torix Knight. So she's the main danger. I make it between the 3 and the 6. I'm very strong on the 3. I think it'll be the second leg of the Mitchley double. And the pick 6, I'm only going those 2 horses, 3 and 6.
Okay, I'm jotting down the numbers, 3 and 6 for Grant Paddock, and he's minimized the spend there out of 10 runners, only including 2 in the pick 6, numbers 3 and 6. That's a good start if you manage to get through leg number 1 with just the 2 runners. Race number 4, fillies and mares, 64 handicap. The distance is 1,600 meters, and this looks to be a highly competitive race. Number 1, 8-1, 2, 8-1, 3, 4-1, 4, 7-2, 5, 28-10. Number 6, 33-10. And I see a jockey replacement for Eldon Weber on number 7. That will be partnered by Donald Geertsen, claiming 1.5 kgs. What's your thoughts here? Race number 4.
Dees, I'm very strong on number 4, Get It Done. I think she won a very, very good race last time out over course and distance. The form lines have stood up very, very well. I think she's got this field stone cold. The second favourite, Arabian Red, won a good maiden last time out, but has to up her game out against some hard knockers. And then this filly number 2, Reunion Hotspot, back over a mile. I think she'll enjoy it. I think she'll enjoy the grass track as well. Her post maiden was very good, and she ran an off race last time out on the poly, but that was too short, being over 1,300. I think she'll love the step up in trip. 3 horses in my pick 6, 2, 4 and 6, but I'm really strong on this horse, Get It Done. I think Louis Mkoto and Sharon Cosson will win this.
Well, Grant Paddock has given you possibly another banker in the PA, and with number 4, because the confidence is high there from him. But in the pick 6, numbers 2, 4 and 6. Can I add one more number in, Grant, for the pick 6?
You can if you want to, Dees.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to add number 5 in there because I know that the horse started off her career very well here, and she's come right down in the ratings. I'm just going to think that she could possibly, make a winning debut down there. I don't know if there'll be any confidence from the 28-10 on offer at the time of recording, but 2, 4, 5, and 6 there in race number 4. Race number 5, 1,000 meters, Pinnacle Stakes. We'll refer to the best weighted column after the betting. Number 1 and 2 are at 11-2. Number 3 at 9-2. 4 at 8-1. Chase Mogin rides number 10, Nakos. Number 13 at 7-1. And then it is double figures the balance. I'm just going to give you the racing fans out there guide when it comes to the best weighted column in this Pinnacle Stakes. And it's very tight, Grant. Numbers 1 and 3 at 100. 2 and 4 at 99, and then the next best is number 5, Iron Bark, at 97. So one can't read too much into that best weighted column because it's tight at the weights. Yeah, your numbers here, Grant?
1 1, 2, 3, and 13. This horse, First Origin, won a very good race last time out with the kid up claiming the 4 kilos. He jumped and he ran, and they couldn't catch him. It's going to be a completely different kettle of fish today with the likes of Tipsy Tina in the race. She doesn't know how to go slow, so she'll be out there cutting his throat. So it could play against First Origin. The Winter Lake, coming back from a blood suspension, 1,000 meters against these kind of horses, might be on the sharp side. He's a very nice horse, though. Probably better suited to 6. And then there's also Ozenker doing really, really good work at home. And, he's run against some really solid horses in Johannesburg and held good form there. He's got to be a massive runner. And then at the bottom, number 13, Jewel Cat. If he was drawn in low numbers, I would have said probably one of the better bets on the card, but he's just got better and better. But unfortunately, wrong side of the course, down the straight at Fairview, you want to be low numbers, and 16 is not going to help you. My pick 6, I've gone 1, 2, 3, and 13, and slight preference for Ozenker here.
Well, you've really managed to help us in a big way to minimize the spin here, because it's a field of 16 and Grant has only included 25% of that field with these 4 runners. On to race number 6, a Pinnacle Stakes, 1,400 meters, as we bring up the field. Number 1 at 7-1, horse number 4 at 4-1. Then we move along to number 9 at 9-2, 10 at 6-1, and it's double figures the balance. Grant, you were a big help in the previous race for the pick 6 with those 4 runners, and if you manage to get through there, that's going to be a win with just 4 of the 16. This race, you're going to be hard pressed to include 4 runners here, Grant.
Yeah, I've just gone one more than that. These 5 runners here for me. Nice kind of a race. Some quality horses running here, D's. They start with Inherit the Rain. I feel he's a better horse on the poly. He's drawn out at 14, so I'm prepared to look past him. Very difficult to look past a Richard Ferree horse, but all his form has been on the poly, and I'm prepared to do that. Bush Tracker, number 1, definitely got to go in. Doesn't know how to run a bad race. Sharon will have him spot on. Louis Mkotwa up. 62 kilos, always that big question mark. And then from the Michelin yard, all 3 of her runners have got to go in. Smorgasbord, Mount Anderson, and then the ever-consistent Brendan James, who doesn't know how to run a bad race, but he's drawn out at 13. Muzieni will have to do his magic. My value bet on the day, and I think the horse that will win this race is a horse number 10, Funky Music, from the Zisman horse days in the yard with Nervin Nastili up claiming the 4, and that 4 kilos off is going to be a big factor. A very good opening run here. Just got collared late over the 1400 on the poly. Nice draw, solid form, and I think he's 6 or 7-1. Definitely good value, and I actually picked the 10 to win the race. My pick 6 numbers are 1, 5, 6, 9, and 10, and as I say, preference for the 10.
So 5 runners in the pick 6 there. We'll multiply that perm out and give you the numbers at the end of the show. Race number 7 is the main event on Friday in this carryover pick 6. Estimated pool 3 million. Race number 7, East Coast Breeder Stakes. It's a listed race over 1,200 meters for a stake of 150,000. So we'll go on to the betting. Number 1, 3 Rocks, 3-1. Number 2, Luna Halo is a 6-1 shot, Grant. 6-1 about number 2, Luna Halo. Number 4, Gimmy's Lassie, also at 6-1. And then it is double figures the balance. Yeah, no, there's one more runner. Number 12, Unconquerable Lady, is trading at 8-1. What are we doing here in race number 7?
Yeah, D's here. We've got an issue here. This is a very difficult race. Some quality fillies with some visiting horses. You know, those visiting horses, you have to respect them. They're from Cape Town. Immediately, they are automatic inclusion in the race. That's the 12 and the 15. But coming back to 3 Rocks, you know, she's done everything right. She's beaten most of these horses numerous times. She's at level weights with them. She's going to be very, very hard horse to beat off her rating of 109. They'll have to pick up their feet. But in a race like this, in this fillies race, I'm prepared to take her on and go quite a bit wider with 7 horses. I'll give you my numbers. 1, 3 Rocks, 2 Luna Halo, 4 Gimmy's Lassie. Number 5, Miss Greenlight, who ran a very, very good race first time out and will really enjoy the step up to 1,200 meters. Then we go to 11 Passchendaele, 12 Unconquerable Lady, and 15 Pineapple Mint Green. But I'm hoping that that stays local, the Breeder Stakes, and that Three Rocks can win it. But I think it's going to be a very, very difficult race, D. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 11, 12, and 15.
I'm loving it because we're sticking to the rule. It is half the field that Grant has included, or less than half the field. Otherwise, it's going to be a field race. But he's gone 7 out of 15. Just as a guide, if you want to know, the best weighted column here belongs to number 1, Three Rocks. As Grant Paddock mentioned, at the weight, she looks like the right filly at a 107. Ahead of number 2, Luna Halo at a 104, 3 at 102, 4 at 101, and horse number 10 is at 100. So how are we closing things off? Race number 8, we're running in the Pick 6. Grant Paddock's numbers has arrived. Races 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're now in the box seat, turning into the straight Grant. Race number 8, let's see. 1200 meters classified stakes. Number 1, 7 to 1. 3 at 11 to 2. 4 at 4 to 1. 7 at 8 to 1. The favorite is priced up here. Sharon Kotson's runner, debuting in the province from the Dean Cannemeyer stable, called Guarding the Wall at 5 to 2. 8, 9 is at 8 to 1, and 10 is at 8 to 1. Is it very difficult to try and assess the Cape Town form lines against the local horses, or are you saying this horse could make a winning debut, Guarding the Wall in the province?
These, one thing about Cape Town form lines, they are way stronger than us. Probably to 6, 7 lengths superior to us. If this horse is ready and they have a bet further, he'll be very, very hard horse to beat. 3 lengths off them in Cape Town is more than adequate to beat a field like this. The only danger to the 8 is the 4 Coastal Path. It's a 2-horse race for me. I'm only having 2 at the back. Coastal Path's got solid form, a very good last run, and the form lines have stood up. That horse Forest Spy came out and won again, and Jewel Cat, the second horse, came out and won. So the form line is there. If Sharon's horse fluffs his lines, then Coastal Path will win. 2-horse race, the 4 and the 8, and that's the way we're going to finish off the Pick 6 for the punters. And hopefully we can catch it this on Friday.
Right. Grant Paddock has ended off on a high with 2 runners, and he's just given us numbers 4 and 8. So I've jotted down the in-running Pick 6 for this carryover perm on Friday. Before we get to Grant Paddock's suggested bet, his value bet, and his best bet, this is the in-running Pick 6 on Gallop TV for Friday in Gqeberha. Leg 1, 3 and 6. Leg 2, 2, 4, 5 and 6. Leg 3, numbers 1, 2, 3 and 13. Leg 4, numbers 1, 5, 6, 9 and 10. Leg number 5 is the widest that Grant has played. 7 out of the 15 runners. 1, 2, 4, 5, 11, 12, and 15. And then he closes things off with just the 2 runners in a field of 10, and he's going numbers 4 and 8. And if you multiply that perm out, it'll cost you 224 Rand on the head for 10%. So you're playing into a big pool. It's 3,224 Rand will give you 10% in the in-running Pick 6 with Grant Paddock. Grant, over to you for your suggested bets.
Thank you very much, Dees. The best bet, race 1, number 4, Securajima. The value bet, race 6, number 10, Funky Music. And the suggested bet, the bipod, goes as follows. We're opening up with a banker 4 by 1, 2, 5, by banker 3, by 4 and 6, by 1, 2, 3 and 13, by 1, 5, 6, 9 and 10 for 120 Rand.
So that's Grant Paddock giving us his best bet, value bet, and a bipod as his suggested bet, and you got that in-running Pick 6. Grant, I don't know if you need some time to really have a look at it, because the final field was announced on Tuesday. Maybe you'll be giving your selection for this year's Hollywoodbets Durban July next week on next week's show. But any first thoughts once you had a look at that final field that was announced on Tuesday?
These, I'd like to have a look at the gallops, to be very honest with you. I'd like to see what they're going to do with See It Again, if they're going to give him a pass canter or if they're going to give him a proper blowout. If they give him a proper blowout, he'll be a massive runner. If not, then I've got to look somewhere else. But I'm going to have a look at the gallops first, and we'll call it after that.
Okay, we'll listen out for Grand Paddock selection next week because there is racing next week in Gqeberha the day before the main events, the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Grand Paddock, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Dees, and good luck to those punters on Friday. Goodbye.
On behalf of Gallop TV, Grand Paddock, myself, Dees Dana, and to you, the valued racing fan, have a blast, find all the winners, and hopefully you catch that pick 6 on Friday. Estimated pool 3 million rand. And until we meet again, you take care. Salaniga Ashle.